And we're live.
All right, great. Hey,
Hi, happy Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving to you too, and to people listening, watching live.
Yeah, the Americans anyway. For me, it's Thursday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, what'd you do for Thanksgiving?
I went to my parents' house, but that was about a month and a half ago. So
Okay.
for
Oh,
today,
right,
I've done
right,
nothing.
right. Yeah, I'm in Southern California again,
Yeah,
um, and it's snowing a lot here,
yeah, I saw that. I saw your tweet.
which is so weird.
Yeah, that is weird. When did you get
Yeah,
down there?
no,
Yesterday?
uh, no, Tuesday night. Usually we come down on Wednesday, but we wanted to try and avoid some of the kind of holiday traffic.
Sure,
That because a lot of people from the Bay Area go down to the LA area
makes sense.
Wednesday
Yeah,
night, so we went a day before and then just like worked from down here for the Wednesdays. And it was pouring rain on our drive, so that was fun to deal with.
nice.
And then when I woke up this morning, huge dump of snow. I've never seen snow here. I didn't think there was even snow here. That was quite a surprise.
Yeah, is it like cold or is it still kind of warm? Like the
No, it's
air?
cold. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like 1 degree Celsius.
Oh yeah, for down there,
But I
that's
mean,
really cold. Yeah.
well, it typically gets pretty cold kind of around this time down here because we're in like the desert. So like the nights and the morning are quite cold.
Sure.
But during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day, it'll warm up to be like, oh, this is t-shirt weather. Uh, Not this year, I guess. This year it's snowy.
I was saying that picture you took, it was kind of surreal to see because like it's been cold up here for sure, but we haven't had like a snow dump yet here in Calgary. So like that's more snow than I've seen this year
Oh,
so
really?
far. Yeah.
I was talking like because I had to show like my parents like you're not going to believe what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Um, and my dad was telling me it's snowy there, and then further south it got like really snowy to the point that they
Yeah.
closed like the border.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
I believe that. That area
and
is always shit though.
I heard like the Colorado got like 3 feet of snow and stuff. Like
Oh,
I've also been
gross.
hearing just like the Midwest around in the states has been having like really crazy snow stuff. So a lot of flights have been getting like borked, which really sucks because of the holidays.
Yeah, gross. Oh.
Anyway, we built a two-headed snowman.
Okay. Pretty good. Yeah.
Man, that auto focused like really quick and fast and well. I did not
That
expect
did.
that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
surprising.
So last time I looked, it was slightly leaning over, so I don't think it's going to make it to the morning.
Are you using just a standard webcam on your laptop?
No, I because I had to work that Wednesday, I brought my whole rig down because I
Okay.
needed to I needed to video edit.
Cuz
So I've got my monitor, I've got the
yeah,
regular webcam. I didn't bring the regular mic, so I probably sound a little different.
sure.
Just because this I brought the snowball, it's just more portable.
I was going to say that for like a webcam just like built into a laptop, that's like impressive that like
Yeah, no,
that
this is
autofocus.
the usual one I do for the show.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, because normally down here I just like borrow my girlfriend's laptop, just do it like all thrown together. But no,
Yeah.
I have the whole rig here. So,
Cool. All right.
but what have you been up to in the last week?
I was at my parents' house helping out with some stuff, seeing my grandmother and just kind of chilling up there. So
Cool,
I actually just got
cool.
home on Wednesday evening. So yeah, I guess yesterday.
We should say John's not here. Is it Seattle area?
No, I think it's eastern Massachusetts area maybe. I can't remember
Oh,
where.
okay. Yeah, he's down here for his in-laws Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yeah.
He's somewhere around here. But yeah,
Yeah.
no John this week.
No John.
I saw Frozen 2.
Yeah, is that worth seeing?
I'd say it's like on par with Frozen 1.
Oh, okay.
It
That's pretty good.
like yeah, like good music.
Okay.
The animation's gorgeous,
Mhm.
and I still wish they would take every scene involving Olaf out of the film.
Yeah. That's
He even has like a whole song to himself that I
right.
swear if you just took out, nothing would be affected. Like the plot would not change in any way.
Yeah,
So I just don't
sounds
need
about
any
right.
of that. But what can you do?
Yeah, exactly. I'll wait for it to come out on video or Disney Plus, more likely.
I will also say there's an end credit scene,
Uh,
but it's all about Olaf. So I don't know if it's actually worth waiting for. I felt like I
yeah,
wasted time waiting in the theater for that.
yeah, I'm sure. I remember the worst thing about Coco was having to sit through that shitty short before it.
Yeah, that had been like coming up since we've been talking about Frozen, that short coming because that short was like 17 minutes long, and I
It was too
remember
long.
so many people complained they actually took it out of showings of Coco, which I
Yeah,
think is very funny.
it's hilarious, but not for me
Yeah,
because I didn't get one of those showings. I had to sit through it.
yeah, exactly. So did I. Um, but tomorrow I'm gonna go see Knives Out, which I'm very excited for.
I hear great things about that. Yep.
Yeah, really good reviews. It looks like it's gonna be super fun.
Yep.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So
A
I'll
new
talk about that next week.
Mandalorian tomorrow. Oh man.
New Mandalorian. Episode 3. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's real good. That's a good
It
episode.
was just very cool. That's such like it's like a Western. It is such a
It is.
fun, and the Mandalorian is just a cool badass.
Yep.
And then like his like buddies in the third episode, that was so fun and whatnot and cool.
It's really good. Yep.
Yeah, so like my Friday things now are like we need to watch Mandalorian, and we also watch the new Pixar series Forky Asks a Question.
Okay. Yeah.
Which you should check those out. If I don't know if you saw Toy Story 4.
I didn't know.
Okay, well Forky gets introduced as a new character, but he has his own little show now. So
Okay.
those are pretty enjoyable too. And those are like 5 minutes long each. They're just like Pixar shorts.
Yeah.
And a new one comes out each Friday.
I wanted to start watching The Watchmen as well.
Watchmen is super good. Yeah, I've been caught up with Watchmen. Watchmen is super good.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I
It is
think I'm
cool.
going to catch up on that one pretty soon here.
Yeah. I I would definitely recommend Watchmen. That's got to be one of my favorite shows this year.
Cool.
But let's do our show. Let's do the top down perspective for November 28th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
And Paul, what have you been playing?
So I was gone. So most of my gaming was on the Switch. A new picross type game came out called Nonogram's Prophecy. So I picked that up. It was like
Okay.
$5, but it was on a discount, so it was like 4 something.
Okay, like a launch discount or something.
Yeah, it's a cheaper one for sure. It is not made by who is it? Jupiter. That do
Right.
the
Well, the
other
last few
ones.
you've been playing have not been by Jupiter, right?
The last 2 were not. Yeah. This one is, but they still followed kind of that formula. This one is quite different with not the Picross itself, but like the controls, like different buttons do different things. So I'm used to the like what would you call it, like erase button or whatever to be B on the controller, the bottom one, or so like
Yeah.
X or whatever.
It's B, yeah.
Yeah. On now it's X on this game, so like that's been throwing me off. Just like I've had to slow down and like really think about what buttons are what. The back button is Y instead of A, which is weird. Like there's just a whole bunch of like weird little changes like that have been throwing me off. But for the most part, for better or worse, it's still Picross. They still have the normal puzzles, like 100 and something of those, and then about 100 and something of like color puzzles as well, which I like. I like the color puzzles quite a bit. And then another one that I just unlocked that I haven't taken a look at, which I assume are the big mega puzzles that like kind of you put together like a puzzle or whatever. Yeah.
So what's like the gimmick of this one? Does it have a story mode? Is there something unique about this one?
The gimmick is that like everything is done in a style like an ancient Greek like artwork like that you would see on like a vase or something. And
That
I
makes me
guess
think of is it Picross 2 or Super Picross? What was the one where it's like Mario was um like an archaeologist, and you were like carving out
Yeah.
on the like
On the like
Super
original
Nintendo,
Game Boy or something. It's
something like that. Yeah,
real
yeah,
old. Yeah. I don't remember which one that was, but it doesn't
yeah.
even have like that to it. It's like a very basic. I wish it had like the carving thing, but no, it just has kind of like that art style going for it. And I don't know. It's just more Picross, and it's a cheap one. So apparently it's
Sure.
just called Mario's Picross. So there you
Yeah, we
go.
probably should have been able to guess that.
Yeah,
I own that
probably.
on something. I don't know
Probably
how.
the DS or 3DS, because it was like on. I have it on that, for example.
Yeah,
And
was it
yeah,
like an eShop thing or was it a promotion or something? Because I don't remember buying it.
yes,
I just remember
yeah. I
getting
don't.
it
Yeah, me
somehow.
too. I don't remember either, but I played it,
Yeah,
so
right.
it must have been a promotion or something, or one of the
Yeah,
free
yeah, yeah, yeah.
games or something. But yeah, so if you want another, I I saw somebody retweeted it, so I tweeted it at John, and he's just like, "I'm still on S3, god damn it," or whatever. It's just like, yeah, there's another one of those out,
There's
and
always more Picross.
yeah, it came out at a perfect time for me because I was gone for a few days, so
There you
like
go.
that worked out
Nice,
real good.
nice.
Uh, since I've been back last night and a little bit today, I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
The
Not
new one.
Yeah, the remake or remaster or redoing, whatever, the one that came out this year. Uh,
Big
specifically
reboot, right? Isn't it like a
reboot.
reboot?
Yeah, you're right. It
Yeah.
is. Specifically, I just like that game because it's the better Battlefield than Battlefield. Those
Okay.
Battlefield, those like ground war maps or whatever, which is their Battlefield mode, is just really fun. So that's what
Okay.
I've been doing today.
How's
And
the story mode?
the story mode I haven't gotten to yet, because
Okay.
I'm gonna just take a day out one day to go through all of that. I didn't know when we were gonna podcast, so I didn't want to like get right in the middle of something big and just be like, well, gotta leave now. So I
Right.
decided to
Because that's
just
the
do a
one where
little
they're
more
like
play.
trying to make like hard decisions and make it like real and gritty, right?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about how that's gonna come across, but we'll see.
Right. Okay.
We'll see how they do. Yeah, that's still a totally fine shooter. I didn't put it in news, but they announced today that starting next week on December 3rd is when season 1 starts, and they're going to be adding like a bunch of new maps and to each game mode and some new weapons and stuff like that. So that's going to get
Does it have
ramped
like a
up.
battle pass?
I'm assuming it will, but it doesn't currently from what I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I've been playing though.
Okay. Let me check. Let me load up my list. So I've been playing a whole bunch of Death Stranding.
Okay.
I knew I wasn't going to be bringing my PlayStation down here. I brought my Xbox. You can see the controller in the background.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to play a bunch of PlayStation stuff before I leave. Uh, I'm still really enjoying it.
Yeah.
The cutscenes are still real long. It is pretty cool. So chapter 3 is where it's at. You want to get to chapter 3 as fast as you can.
I have
Chapter
heard
3
this.
chapter 3 took me about, I want to say, I don't remember exact the time, somewhere around 12 to 15 hours to get to chapter 3.
Yeah.
That's when it like really opens up to be like, oh, here's all of like the social stuff. Because up until that point, every time that you like reestablished a link, that area would be like, oh, it's now online, and you'll see people's like ladders and stuff that you can then use. That
Right.
was fine. But now, once you get to chapter 3, first off, get to chapter 3, they give you like robot legs, so you don't fall over as much anymore, and you
That's
can
pretty
carry
good.
like an absurd number of boxes, like 3 stacks of Sam tall.
All right.
Um, uh, honestly, just being able to like make turns without worrying about Sam falling over and damaging the packages is a huge deal. So getting the robot legs is super helpful.
Okay.
That's also when I first got the gun. It's a bolo gun, so like these there's these enemies that are on the map that are addicted to delivering packages, like
Of course.
mentally sick, that they love the adrenaline of delivering a package, so they will
Yeah.
attack you to steal your packages so that they can go deliver them.
Yeah. Sounds
And
like
that's obviously
FedEx.
so you got a gun that shoots like one of those like bolos which are
Yeah.
like the balls with the rope, and then you can
To
like
just like
ti-
incapacitate them,
like
basically.
tie them up, yeah, and then you
Yeah.
can escape and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
But the big thing
Great.
is you can now start building structures where you then have to put materials into it, like craft it like a road.
Oh, so it's
But
Fortnite.
people online
Mm-hmm.
can also help you build your road.
Oh no. Okay.
So what happened is, so I got to chapter 3, and once I got to the part where they were like, "Hey, this is when it's gonna like really happen. What like here's a tutorial level. Go out and build a chunk of road." And they were just gonna show me how to do it. It was like right outside the base, so it's not like I had to travel anywhere. But because it was in chapter 3 now, and I had connected with so many people, the road was just done, and it like filled the whole map.
Oh.
So like,
Okay.
so I was able to, so I just like finished the mission like super quick.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need. They're like, here's a whole bunch of cement, but I didn't like need like a third of it because it was like all done basically. And now I can just like ride my bike like from one location to the next on a road that constantly juices up all my batteries because people have just been decking out these roads with stuff. There's just these like platforms that someone decided to build that the whole purpose of the platform is just they wanted to project a hologram here. So Horizon Zero Dawn, the robot dinosaur that you climb to the top of to like
Yeah.
survey the land.
Mm-hmm.
There's just holograms of that around on the map
Oh. Okay.
because like
Sure.
Sony exclusives, every
Okay.
time you would come to like a new location where you could like deliver something or get a new order request, there would be you're only ever talking to holograms um, of the people that are like hidden underground or whatever. But those holograms would sometimes meet you outside the door just to be like, "Hey." Now with the person's hologram, there's a hologram of like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, just like posing because
Oh.
someone unlocked that hologram and then put it there, and my game decided to show me that.
Oh.
Like there's
Okay.
just so much just stuff
Just
everywhere.
random shit everywhere.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like it was just like, oh, this is because it went from like, all right, this place is pretty empty to like this place is just like a dump of weird like carnival stuff. What is going on? This is super silly and just odd. Um, but like cool at the same time. So
That
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
a Kojima game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it.
Cool.
I want to keep going.
Yeah.
You should play it. Obviously,
It's on, yeah. It's
see
on
this
a
for your
list currently.
yeah. See
Yeah.
this for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Um, I've also been playing Destiny 2's Shadowfall.
Okay.
I've actually been playing this for like a couple weeks now, but I just hadn't played a ton of it to like warrant wanting to really talk about it. This last week I played a good chunk of it.
Okay.
I don't think I'd like it.
Oh really?
Uh, and I say that mainly because this is the only expansion I can think of where like every second quest is why don't you go grind for a bit?
Yeah. There's a lot of grinding in it for sure.
And it's weird because like none of the other expansions asked you to do that.
Yeah. I think this one definitely is they were focusing on the transition to not being part of Activision's umbrella anymore, not so much like all the gameplay stuff. Feels like maybe it suffered in that way.
Well, yeah, because I was kind of just thinking it through, and I was like, "Hey, this is like their big first voyeur of being independent. Like, let's come out here with a bang." And then
Mm.
it's like a not very enjoyable expansion. Like, that's a bummer. But yeah, because like the story missions are cool. The environments obviously super cool,
Yeah.
and they look gorgeous. You know, typical of Destiny. But then like every second one is like, why don't you go kill like 30 fallen? Why don't you go like participate in public quests for a bit? And it's like,
Mm.
why are you making me like do this stuff?
Oh, to like unlock the Dreambane armor stuff or
So
whatever.
I just
Yeah.
did that. I just finished getting the armor.
Yeah.
That sucked. That was the worst one so far because I had to do 3 different things of grinding. I even had to like leave the moon to go somewhere else to find where nightmares were. Like me and my like co-op buddy were like Googling like where are these nightmares?
Oh yeah, in the lost sectors. But yeah, no, it's like I didn't like how there were quests to like go off the moon either. It's like, but I want to be on the moon. I paid for this expansion to be here. I don't want to go
Yeah.
to
Like I've done stuff
Titan.
off the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with them sending me elsewhere. I just want I just don't want grinding quests. It just feels like padding.
Mm-hmm.
Because I swear every second or third mission is just a weird grinding quest, which I'm not enjoying. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a bummer. I'm not going to look back on Shadowfall with like praise. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will look back on with praise is again playing some PlayStation stuff. I picked up Beat Saber.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of people over because I was like, hey, come over and we'll test out my new TV.
Yeah.
By putting a VR headset on so you can't see the TV.
Sure. Makes sense.
But I had been wanting Beat Saber, and I'm like, this will be like a fun party game, having some Beat Saber. Beat Saber's real cool. Beat Saber's a lot of fun. It's basically like Guitar Hero or Rock Band. You got like a highway of quote unquote notes flying at you, and then with the two move controllers, you're swiping to cut the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Beat Saber is just a really cool time. I like there's all these like little touches of you when you slice the boxes, it knows the exact like angle you slice the box, so you will actually see it split apart in the exact way. It doesn't just like explode or anything. So you can kind of slice it in different shapes if you wanted to. You get more
Mm-hmm.
points if you get it like right in the middle, but
Right.
I just like that it like tracks that. Since you have like basically lightsabers in the game, if you like touch like the tips, obviously not the tips of the controllers, but like where the lightsabers would be in game, the
Yeah.
controllers like will vibrate, like there's like some resistance there or something,
That's
which is
pretty
just
cool.
kind of cool. Same if you like point them towards the ground and the lightsaber part touches the ground, you'll feel like some vibration of like, oh, this can't go through that and stuff.
Huh. That's
So
kind of
like
neat.
there's a bit of a tactile feel to it. It's really cool.
Cool.
I had some issues with the PlayStation VR itself. Um, there's no like just like easy way to like reorientate your like the whole world. Like I know in
Oh,
Astrobot, I believe there was a way you could just kind of like hold down one button and it would just like reset the camera and everything.
yeah.
This one doesn't have that for some reason, which is a bummer.
Is that a failure on the software or like on the hardware itself? Like, is that a Beat Saber problem? Or is that like there should be a
I,
button to do that on the headset or something?
I would love it if there was just like a default button for like in the PlayStation dashboard that would take care of that
Sure. Yeah.
by default. But I think since it's in some games and it's not in others, it's on the software side of it, so it's a Beat Saber problem.
Bummer.
But hope maybe that's like a PlayStation 5 thing that'll come
Yeah.
is they'll just like mandate that stuff or they'll like build it into the OS since this was obviously made, long after PlayStation 4 first came out.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that because PlayStation VR is also just kind of known for not being the best tracking one since it doesn't have additional controllers, doesn't have inside out tracking. It just has the one camera.
Yeah.
Also, Beat Saber wanted me to stand closer to the TV than was like ideal because there's some motions where you need to like there'll be the notes flying at you, but there's also like these walls that'll fly off you and you have to like lean your head to the left and right and you can't have make sure you can't have your head touching them. The lightsabers can, but you can't be touching them, so you have to kind of dodge a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them require you to duck down.
Okay.
But the position I have my camera is on top of my TV, so I would duck down to dodge the thing, but then I would be out of the camera's view because it wanted me to stand
Oh,
so close. So I had to stand like a few feet back because there's like footprints on the ground where it wants you to stand, and I had to stand significantly behind those so that it could see all the motions I was going to do.
right.
There's no way to tell it like, hey, I want to position myself further back or anything like that. You can tell it how tall you are, so it knows where the floor should be, but that's
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Huh.
that's a bit of a bummer as well.
Seems like growing pains for VR just in general. Stuff like
Right. And
this.
again, I think it's just because this is like the weakest form of like Beat Saber that for like a VR that Beat Saber's on, because the other VR
Gotcha.
platforms they have inside out tracking and they have multiple cameras, so it's probably just a non-issue. This is probably mostly just a PlayStation VR. I don't know how they fix that without putting more cameras in there. I'm assuming whatever PlayStation VR 2 is will have inside out tracking so that they don't require you to put like a camera behind you or off to the side or
Right.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Since like the PC ones are starting to have inside out tracking now. I'm sure the next iteration of PlayStation VR will have that too.
Yeah.
But anyways, once I have it up running and everything's working fine, that's a fun game. It's super cool. They make you do once you're like getting into like like if they have a recurring pattern going with the song and the beats, and you're like, okay, I know I'm gonna do like 2 slashes this way, and then they're gonna want me to like flip over. It's just there's a cool flow you get in. It's just a lot of fun. It definitely reminds me a lot of like Rock Band drums, which makes sense because it's kind of some of the same motions. But like in Rock Band drums, you would often be doing the same note pattern over and over, and there's just like a flow you kind of get into of like, oh, I know this pattern now, we're just gonna like do this for the next like 30 seconds, and then it's like, oh, crash cymbal, here we go. And there's a flow. And as a big Rock Band and rhythm game guy, I'm enjoying Beat Saber quite a bit.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds fun.
Yep. And I needed to make sure I played it because this is like the hottest, most popular VR game.
Yeah.
So I wanted to definitely play that.
It's nominated for VR Game of the Year, so
it is at the Game Awards. You're right.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm still playing Pokemon. I don't really have much new to say about that.
It's still
besides,
Pokemon.
it's still good. The music's really good, so I'm enjoying that. I still am having fun with Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So continuing that.
Did you drive down, or do you play games on the way down
on the trip? If I'm driving, I'm not playing games. Right. If I'm like shotgun, I'm usually playing games.
Okay, yeah.
I did the whole drive down this time just because
Gotcha.
I don't know. I was just vibing, got my playlist on, so I was like, I'll just keep going. Which was great because, like I said, it was like pouring rain, and people in California can't drive when it's rainy, so everyone was going real slow, and that was annoying.
Oh man. Fun.
So yeah. Anyway, that's all I've been playing. So let's do some news. I'm gonna let you start because you grabbed some of this stuff first.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of just basic, quick things. So Battleborn, the most generic named thing ever that a lot of people probably don't remember, but if you do, it was Gearbox's version of, what the hell is that called? I guess Overwatch. Like, it's kind of like that, like a hero-based shooter that came out a few years ago. They're finally deciding to take it out back and shoot it, basically. So starting in February of next year, you're no longer going to be able to purchase virtual currency for it, and they are planning to continue or discontinue everything in it so that by January 2021, it will no longer be playable in any state at all. It will be gone from everybody's mind. And what's
happening in February?
They're no longer allowing you to buy currency and like use it in the game or any of that stuff. They're like discontinuing it slowly. And yeah, it's one of those things, I guess, that I didn't realize people were even still playing it, but apparently somebody is, so they have to give that guy time to spend all his in-game currency or something.
Right. I don't know. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Yep. Yeah. That thing has been dying for a long time, so I'm glad to see that they're finally just stopping completely with it, I guess. Steam controllers are being discontinued because people weren't buying them, I guess. So what they decided to do is say, hey, we have a warehouse of these things we need to sell. How about, like, you give us $5 for one or whatever? And apparently they did. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we did that. Or you did that, and then you're
bought 3 of them.
Yeah. Why not? I've heard good things about the controller, actually, from some people.
I bought 3.
Yeah.
And then I saw that they were also discontinuing, or also discounting, and probably discontinuing some of the other accessories. So like the carrying case, was $2, and I was like,
Okay.
oh man,
A
I want a
carrying
carrying
case?
case for $2, but like the shipping
Yeah.
was like $8 or $9 or something, and I was like,
Oh.
crap. So I did a new order of
Uh-huh.
3 controllers with the carrying case. So I had 6 at one point, and then the refund system kind of sucks because I had to slowly one by one request a refund for the
Oh
first
God.
3.
Yeah.
Here's the really crazy part. The first 3, that order with the shipping and tax or whatever, came up to like $40, which
Okay.
is like too much, right? Because that
Uh-huh.
would be $5 per
Yeah.
controller, and then like $25 in shipping
In
and tax.
shipping. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So it ended up coming up to about 13 something for each controller. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. When I did the order for 3 controllers and the 1 carrying case,
Yeah.
the total came out to like $33.
Okay.
What? Why? Why is it cheaper?
So those
It was
carrying cases were like jacking the price up somehow, I
no, no, no,
guess.
no, 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 no. The
Before,
first
right?
order there was just 3 controllers. The second order has three
Oh,
controllers and a carrying case, and that was $7 cheaper
they gave you a
overall.
discount because they're like, thanks for like clearing our
Taking
warehouse.
I don't know what happened. So I had to cancel 3 $13 controllers. Like that's how they showed up, is they like split the price of the total for each controller. I wanted to just get on like a quick email, be like, hey, I accidentally ordered 2. I made 2 orders. Can you cancel this order? You can't reach out to Steam. There's no
No.
way
Yeah.
to like talk to anyone
Yep.
at any point. Um, so that was annoying. Luckily, it worked out. I'm not getting 6 controllers. They canceled the first 3.
Thank God.
Um, but yeah, so I'll have one of those controllers to like probably never use, but like it's a thing to have, I guess. It's a weird piece of gaming history.
Yeah, I'll probably use it. Apparently
I'll
they're
try
like
it.
good for games like Civ and stuff where you need some mouse control or whatever with the Steam link, and it'll work with the Steam link.
Right, but so does like every other controller because they're Bluetooth.
Yeah, but I have one controller. I have a PlayStation 4 controller.
Oh, okay. Because see, I have like 2 PlayStation controllers, 2 Xbox controllers. Like I
Yeah.
have an Xbox 360 controller. That's actually the one it's a wired one. That's the one I use for my PC stuff. So like I got plenty
Yeah.
of controllers. I don't need. I got a Stadia controller. I got tons of controllers.
Stadia controller. Yep. So yeah, Steam controller is being discontinued. I'm guessing this is still available, so if you go check it out, you might be able to snag one for $5, but if not,
Oh,
then I
really? You
guess
don't
they're
think
out.
they're sold out at this point?
I have
I
no
was expecting
idea.
them to go like super fast.
I'm trying to find out any like information to see if they're sold out, but I can't find anything, so they might still be there.
Maybe. I
Who
guess that
knows?
depends how many they made.
Speaking of things with Steam, they aren't sold out yet. I'm getting confirmation, so there you go.
Wow.
By the time you
Wow.
hear this, like in podcast form, they're probably gone, but who knows?
I doubt it because this was like a few days ago. I would have assumed it was either like all at once or there's
Yeah,
just like absolutely no interest and they didn't get enough suckers like us to give them $5.
sure. Speaking of Valve and Steam getting rid of shit, they got rid of 1,000 some games apparently. That were quote unquote abusing Steamworks tools. These are the asset flip games that people always talk about. That
Sure.
kind of,
Like just the absolute trash
yep,
that's
just
on
the
Steam.
absolute trash that's on there that people just put up for like $1 or whatever and try to fool people into. They just got rid of a whole shitload of those, basically.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
That's probably worth it.
They probably should have done that a while ago, frankly, but who
They
knows?
should probably do that like on a recurring basis and have some form of moderation.
Yep, agreed. Okay, just some more quick news. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out on Steam December 5th, a week from our recording of this. So people that didn't want to get it on Epic for whatever reason, you now are able to get it on PC through Steam. So yeah, there you go. Or I guess the Rockstar thing probably, as always, if anybody actually downloaded that thing besides me, because I like to collect
Gotta get your free
launchers.
copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
I think I have a free copy on like every system by now, dude.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
was still one of my favorites, but yeah, I'll never play that. This one I found interesting. Man of Medan, that game that came out this year,
From
um,
Supermassive. Yep.
from Supermassive, creators of Until Dawn,
Yep.
the Dark Pictures anthology, the first one there. They're doing an update where they're giving a free playthrough to people to give to a friend through a buddy
Yeah, it's a
pass.
buddy pass. Yeah, I heard about this because my friend who bought it on, I believe he got a physical copy. He was like, "Hey, I have a buddy pass if you want to just like go through it," because
Yeah.
he knows I'm not going to play a horror game, but
Oh,
like a
okay.
horror co-op game that might be like doable.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
totally. It sounds fun too
Did
to
you
do
have you
with them.
looked into this at all, like the
Well,
specifics?
here's the thing: is I didn't want to buy this game, so I'm gonna see if I know somebody who bought this game, so I'm
You had to
gonna
try and
see
get
if
a
I
buddy
can.
pass off them.
Yeah.
So I didn't look into it, but my friend was, and he needs to look into it more. But he was saying it. The wording made it sound like you only get one
It's
life.
you only get one playthrough. So what happens is
Like if
that
you die,
the game updates, and then when he launches it, he'll get a code to give to you. You'll install it or whatever, and then you have access to one co-op playthrough with him, and once it's done, it's done.
but
So
it
if
made it sound like if you die, that's just the end of it. You don't get to like keep trying.
well, from
Like
what I
if you
understand, it's the
kill the
same way as
characters,
Until Dawn. So like you'll play through the story, and if your story is everybody died prematurely, then that's the way it
there's your
goes.
story. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's kind of an interesting idea of like, yeah, here's
Yep.
like one way, like it's like here's a one token for an arcade game, and then if you like
Yeah.
it, you can buy the game. Kind of like it makes me think of like what was that Xbox arcade thing they had that was not live arcade?
Game
What
room.
was Game Room? Because you
Yeah.
could buy tokens, right,
Yep.
to plug in the games, or you could just like for like $4 buy the game.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of seems like that. Like it's a weird. It's kind of cool. Like why not?
I I really like this idea, especially for this type of game where it's just kind of like so everybody knows that when you play a game that's very story based, it can suffer if you're playing through multiple times. Like you can start to see the cracks or whatever of like, oh, it didn't matter what I chose in The Walking Dead. I was always going to get to this point or whatever. So showing it this way is kind of neat where it's just like, well, this is your story. Like this is how it happened for you. Like have fun or whatever. Like although
Right.
your friend would get to play it whenever they want, obviously because they bought it.
Because
But
they
like,
own it. Yeah.
yeah.
And the nice thing about this specific version of the story game is this one actually does have a whole bunch of different endings and stuff.
Yeah.
So they would entice you like, hey, you only saw like a small slice of this game. Maybe you should like buy
Maybe you
it
should pick it up. Yeah.
and do the whole thing. This makes me think of like how this like one-time test could be expanded to different genres. And I immediately thought of like arcade ladders for like a fighting game. What if like
Uh-huh.
Street Fighter 6 comes out and you can get like you get one free play to go through the main arcade mode. If you die, that's the end of it. You need to buy the game. But if you like beat the arcade mode, like good for you. You did it. Kind of like if you're good
Yeah.
enough in the arcade to like beat it on one quarter, then you get to play a lot more of the game than someone else.
Sure. Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
It would be really cool. I actually quite like this. The only thing I could see being like a little iffy though is like, does this make you want to just like look up a walkthrough to make sure you get the good ending because you have one play? Like, does it like
I
feed that part of your brain of like, I need to make sure this is optimized instead of
or
just
like
enjoying
yeah,
it?
like how do I optimize it for like the most play time?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's true too.
And is
But
that like a game problem or a human condition problem? Like, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I mean, I guess it like yeah, I don't know. I guess with Until Dawn, Man of Medan, there's no way you'll get to see everything in one playthrough because you
Yeah.
have probably have to like kill people or make specific decisions to see
Yeah.
it all. But yeah,
I
it's
thought
cool.
this was cool though, for sure. Okay, so you grab this other
This
one.
next one, yeah, I put these together. They announced today. I haven't watched the trailer yet. To the Moon 3,
Oh, okay.
which I believe it's called Imposter Factory. Um, I'm definitely excited. Again, I need to go through
Mhm.
and watch this this trailer, but I still didn't play the second one.
Right.
Finding Paradise, but I love To the Moon 1. That game is
Hmm.
fantastic. Can't recommend that enough. So more To the Moon. Let's do it. I'm just glad that guy is making more, continuing to make games.
End of 2020 apparently is when it's
Yeah.
slated for release. Oh, right, a Bird Story too. That was a nice game.
Yeah, that was the short little one in between, right? That like
Yeah.
set up Finding Paradise. I played a Bird Story. I did not play Finding Paradise though, but I
Yeah.
do have it. Um, this next story is Stadia announced what their next games are, which I didn't even realize kind of what the schedule was. But if you have the Pro subscription, which anyone who has Stadia has the Pro subscription because that was the only way to get Stadia. That's their subscription, $10 a month, and you get access to some games. So I guess Destiny 2 and Samurai Showdown were the November games. They've announced the December games are Farming Simulator 19,
Okay.
Platinum Edition,
Sure.
and the first Tomb Raider reboot. I think this is
Okay.
pretty underwhelming. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
personally,
Yep.
do not care. I just finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider earlier this year. Like, I'm good.
I mean, out of those, Farming Simulator is more up my alley because that's not a game I would buy for myself. So, like, for it to be included would be fine.
Sure. I mean, I like Tomb Raider 2013. I like that game a lot. I'm pretty sure that's on my top 10 list of that year. But I
Sure.
played that in 2013. I
Yeah.
don't need to play that again.
You played it 6 years ago for sure.
Um, anyway, Google also said, because I guess a bunch of people complained, like, oh man, I just bought Tomb Raider for Stadia.
Right.
Now they're getting it for free. So Google says they are going to give refunds to those people.
Okay. That's nice of them.
So anyone who bought Tomb Raider, I guess it was $10 on the store with a
Mm-hmm.
pro membership, you'll get a refund for that.
Okay. Yeah,
Which
that's
I guess
nice.
that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I don't think they have to keep doing this. I think just because Stadia came out so late into November that it's like if I had waited like 10 days, I would have gotten it for free. That's good on Google for doing that for sure.
Yeah.
This last little bit of news is that Facebook bought Beat Games, the developers of Beat
Right.
Saber.
Yes.
Uh, this happened like just after I bought it. Not that that means anything,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of interesting. I'm hoping this doesn't like limit any support they do for the PlayStation version. I doubt they would do that. I doubt they would make it like exclusive to Oculus.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
But
Hmm.
who knows what that'll mean? I guess good for them. Like they were probably a small studio and getting picked up. Like they're probably like making bank now. They got that Facebook money.
For sure.
So congrats to those developers. Facebook confirms that this is just the beginning when it comes to big announcements such as acquisitions. So maybe they're going to make a big push for Oculus soon.
Man, people are fucking pissed about this. Everywhere I'm
Oh wait,
looking,
in the Twitter replies?
in the Twitter replies on the like actual news page or the page that like it links to in the comments. Like,
I actually didn't look through these.
do
But
not
yeah, you're right.
enjoy this at all.
I mean, it is Facebook. If you're gonna pick
Yeah.
what's the latest evil company, Facebook's a pretty easy one to pick.
Yep. Very true.
And it's also because your Beat Games is made like the most popular VR game, so it's just kind of like a weird mesh of like people they don't like buying, people they do like. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's good. Hopefully
Yep.
it's good. That's the news I grabbed. Do you want to run through some free games?
Free games, yes. So I've been missing this a little bit for Xbox Game Pass. So I'm gonna start just where like things got kind of interesting. Rage 2 was released on that. You know, the game that came out like 6 months ago or whatever, so you can play that.
Yep.
Hearts of Iron 4, Age of Empires 2 Definitive, which I'm stoked for, Munchkin Quacked Quest, Subnautica, which is dope, The Red Strings Club, which I don't know at all, Vambrace Cold Soul, which is a very decent Darkest Dungeon like that I would recommend, and Darksiders 3 are all available as of
Is
now. So
Darksiders 3 console Game Pass?
I don't know. I couldn't find
Because if
anything
so,
with it.
I'm gonna download that right after this.
You should try it. Yeah, for sure.
Um, I
So
was pretty excited last week. Remnant from Ashes got put on Game Pass because that was a game I was like this close to just picking up on a Black Friday sale. I really wanted to play that, and they were like, "Oh, hey, here it is, Game Pass." Boom.
yep, pretty good. The less exciting games with gold, but still okay stuff for X-Bone. We have Insane Robots and Jurassic World Evolution, which is kind of cool if you like that type of sim game. Less cool on the Xbox 360, you have Toy Story 3 and Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate.
Yeah, cool. I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know. Games with gold is always just kind of a bummer. I heard that Toy Story 3 had that cool toy box mode
Okay, that might be
that
worth
like
looking
made
into.
it into Disney Infinity. Remember Disney Infinity?
Yep, I do.
Yep.
Um, Epic Games this week. Rayman Legends is the game as of I guess
That's a
tomorrow.
cool
Technically,
old game.
it's a good old game. So if you don't have it, you can pick that up for free. And PS Plus, they announced what's coming out for December, and Titanfall 2, which is a big win. If you haven't played that, you need to try it.
Arguably one of the best first-person shooter campaigns
Probably.
ever.
Yep. Very,
Like
very good.
that's definitely in the top 5.
Yep, definitely. So PlayStation Plus members will get that in December, starting December 3rd. And Monster Energy Supercross, which I'm less excited about, but I'm sure somebody will play it. So there you go.
Man, what a weird
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
All right, let's do some questions.
Okay.
If people want to send questions in, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box.
Okay.
I'll read this first one from Rasterman. And remember, a lot of these were pulled over from last week, so
Yep.
the terminology might seem a little odd. The imminent release of Google Stadia will probably come with its due set of problems. One of them appears to be lag, which well over a month ago, one of its representatives claims they could fix with what they called negative latency. In light of the above, what other negative physics concepts would you say could be handy in general if one could manipulate them at will? Take negative gravity, for example, as it could be useful to fall upwards, VVVVVV style, in case of dealing with vertigo or just plain falling, I suppose.
Yeah. I
So, what
mean,
negative power do you want in real life?
for physics, like negative weight gain, I guess. You could just continue eating all the time forever.
Sure. In some way, that's kind of like negative gravity, isn't it?
In some way, yeah. I'm trying to think of like other physics components that you could like alter. Because the thing is like negative speed is just called braking in like a car or slowing
Yeah.
down. Negative
Yeah, and
light
that's not
is
cool.
just turning it off, basically in a room.
That makes me think of what was that Harry Potter like lighter that I don't even remember who had it. Was it Dumbledore? I don't remember, but he could like suck light sources into his like lighter. That just made me think of that.
Never seen Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. None of the movies.
I own all of them, but I haven't watched any of them.
You should watch them. They're a fun time.
All right.
Um I don't know. There's that one girl in My Hero Academia where she can make things float by touching them. That's
Okay.
I guess that's the
Again,
gravity thing
negative
again.
gravity. Negative gravity he
Yeah.
took like all the good ones with. Um
Okay, I'm trying to think more on like a physicsy side. What if instead of like every action has an equal and opposite reaction of like you hit something and it moves? What if when you hit it, it immediately went back the opposite direction?
okay.
So like if someone like punched you, it would feel like they're getting punched the opposite way, like on their fist at the exact moment.
I like Wayward's thing, negative speed similar to stopping time. That works.
Like slowing down time.
Yeah, that would
I
be
think that's
very
just, would
helpful.
that just be like negative time as opposed to negative speed?
I guess so, yeah. How could you turn invisible? What would that be? Negative presence? Like negative what?
Negative present. Yeah, negative opacity.
Opacity. All
It's
right,
like it's a
sure.
manipulate. Well, I don't know if that's the correct verbiage, because you're manipulating your opacity, so it'd be
Yeah.
like negative opaqueness. I don't know.
Yeah.
What if, okay, so if we're doing it in that way, that just made me think of like, you have Invisible Woman, you have Human Torch. How do you get Human Torch's powers? It would be negative not being on fire.
Right. Negative not being out. Oh, you know what would be good? Negative being in debt would be really good. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
power.
These are getting dumb.
Yeah. VGC Kenny wrote in and said, yesterday I forgot my bus pass, but the bus driver let me on without paying anyway. What random acts of kindness have been bestowed upon you like that? And I have one. There have been a couple
Okay.
times where the person in front of me has paid for my coffee order at Tim's.
Nice. And then do you
Yep.
pass it on?
Oh, for sure. You
Nice.
have to. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I mean,
I've done.
if you can, I guess.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
have to, but like you should. Yeah, you should pass along the goodwill
for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you. Well, what do you mean if you can? You're in line expecting to buy a coffee. So
For a
what's the
dollar.
difference of if you just like passed the coffee purchased behind? Unless the person was like,
The
"Oh,
person
excuse me, I was
behind is a
buying."
family of 5 for like
Yeah, I was.
$50. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was buying 15 coffees, sir.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
open your wallet up a little wider.
Yep. Nope. Not doing that.
Um, Act of kindness is put on me.
I've done the bus pass thing too. That's happened a couple times where
I've
like it fell out of my pocket or whatever, and yeah.
I've had a few times where I was like, or actually this happened recently. I just switched internet providers.
Uh-huh.
But they had like just charged me
Mm-hmm.
like a couple days before, and I was like, is there any way I can get this like prorated or anything? And he's like, they're probably not even going to charge you. Like, we'll just like wipe that. And I was like, oh, cool, thanks.
Nice.
Or I've had sometimes where it was like a recurring fee, and I just
Yeah.
got charged that fee, and I was like, okay, I cancel this. And then they're like, oh, we'll just like take the $5 back, or we'll give you the $5 back. So I've had that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few like that.
Here's an interesting one. I anytime, if I'm playing like Apex or something, and then after a match someone just messages me and says like, you played great, or that was awesome, or good
Mhm.
game or something, that's just awesome. That's super
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Because 99 times out of 100 it's like you play like shit, and it's like, cool, thanks for
Or
going out of
worse.
your way to
Yeah.
like type that out on a difficult to type keyboard.
Yeah. For sure. Oh, I have the biggest one. One time when I was in college, I left my backpack at a bus stop with my
Oh,
laptop and
geez.
all my books and everything in it.
Whoa.
And the
Okay.
person who picked it up like undid my laptop, couldn't get into it, but they saw I had like a school ID there. They called me and they like drove it to where I was staying and like
Yo,
dropped it
nice.
off.
I've actually done something similar, like for someone.
Yeah.
I've found twice now. Well, most recently, I found an iPhone on the ground,
Uh-huh.
and I picked it up, and I couldn't get into it because they needed a password.
Yeah.
But then, pro tip: this is what you do: you hold down that button and activate Siri, and then say "Call Dad" or "Call Mom."
Oh, that's
And I
pretty
got a hold.
smart.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get a hold of their mom, but I got a hold of their dad, and I was like, "Hey, I found this phone on the ground. I asked it to call Dad, and you picked up. So I think your kid is missing their phone." And he was like, "Oh yeah, probably. I'll let them know." Like, and I gave him my actual phone number, and then I was able to give them their phone back.
Nice. That's really cool. Yeah.
Next question from Hebrew Lantern says, you wake up and it's the year 2220. You're in a windowless room with a computer that has access to the internet. What's the first thing you search for?
My family.
I was gonna say like my name
Yeah.
or like my friends, my family, my girlfriend. I don't think many of my family members would show up if I searched their names.
Mm-hmm.
But I know if I search like my name, like my Twitter comes up. I think like the podcast comes up,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So I'd be kind of curious to see if there's any information about like what happened to me.
Yeah.
Um, and then
Yeah.
I'd probably go
200
on
years.
Facebook
Yeah. Exactly.
just to try and see like.
Facebook has been defunct for 100 years at this point.
I mean, probably, and actually, most of my people I know don't even really use Facebook. So, I'm trying to think, maybe I would go like I'd go onto like my Instagram account to try and see like what their last photos were.
You know what this just made me realize? We have no basis for comparison. The internet hasn't existed for 200 years up till now. So, like, what
But there's
stays?
books,
Yeah, but what stays on the internet? Because the internet's
everything.
much more flimsy than like an actual thing that you can hold and like store somewhere.
Internet Wayback Machine, man. You can find whatever you need to. It's somewhere.
But it's not, because not everything is anyway. So, like, will Instagram have been a thing 200 years from now?
I'm assuming you'll be able to find the accounts. Maybe, I mean that. No, you're right. Maybe like the whole thing will be shut down. You can't access it. Like it just doesn't do anything.
Will Google exist after the Great Google War of 2130?
That's true. That is a good point. That is a very good point. I mean, whoever wins, we lose. I think that's evident for sure.
Especially if it's like
Um,
Yahoo that wins, then we're fucked.
well,
Bing
it's gonna be like Amazon versus Google, right?
and Disney. Yeah.
Disney will be there, um, or it'll be all the companies that are above it that actually own like everything, like those super companies like Alphabet and
Yeah.
whatnot. That like it'll be like those. Um, Here's the thing I was just thinking about though: searching like your friends and family,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna find any good
They're
news
long.
there.
No, I know.
They've been dead for 100 years. Like you're not going to find anything of like, oh, and where are they? At the very least, you might be able to find like an ancestor, like a descendant. But then
Yeah.
what do you do with that info? You just show up to some person's house and be like, I'm your great 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 grandfather. And they're going to be like, you're insane. What are you talking about? Also, I don't care.
I honestly don't think I could like survive. I think I would end my life. If I woke up 200 years like in the future and I don't know anybody or anything, I don't think I could handle it. The idea alone right now is like giving me anxiety and it's not
I feel like
happening.
I would need to figure out like how did I time jump?
That yeah, that would be pretty big for sure.
That would be like primary question number one.
I guess like the big thing is you would search for like what happened to the world. Like just go to the news or whatever, like a
Just go to
news
like
site.
a random news thing and see what like who's the president right now.
Yeah.
But that's the
Do
thing is
presidents
whoever the
exist?
president's going to be, it's going to be someone you've never even heard of because they were born like 80 years more than 180 years after you disappeared out of the timeline. So like what is that even useful for?
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Man.
here's a good one. You Google World War III and see
Yeah.
it if it happened. Like was there
Sure.
another world war?
Like World War III. Oh shit, that happened 150 years ago. We just got out of World
Exactly.
War VIII.
There's been 6 world wars since.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know like what's like a super useful bit of info to have other than what happened to yourself. Like did,
I don't know what you would look
do you
for.
try to see like what's the McDonald's menu like these days? Cuz McDonald's is still going to be around. That's
Probably,
not
right?
going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like is it that different?
Yeah. This question just gave me an existential crisis, so thank you for that. Um, One Press LTP says, I've seen that Clefairy was apparently going to be the mascot of Pokemon before Pikachu grew in popularity. If you could choose a mascot for Pokemon other than Pikachu from the original 151, who would your choices be? I'm just going to say Charizard because he's my boy. He's my favorite.
Charizard's cool. I think Eevee's a good answer because it can
Eevee's
evolve into
fine.
so many different things. Like you get kind of a good example of like, here's a whole bunch of Pokemon at once, kind of.
Okay, stick with me for this. What do we think about Mr. Mime?
I think that's creepy. I don't think it would get the same population of people. I like Mr. Mime, and I like that in Pokemon Sword and Shield he evolves into Mr. Rhyme. I'm
That's
all
pretty
for
good.
that. And he's one of the best parts of Detective Pikachu. I'm down, and I'm a sole believer that he's Ash's dad. Like I'm there with Mr. Mime. I don't think it's a good mascot. How about Mew?
Yeah, Mew's good for
I
sure.
think Mew's like it's like cute enough, right?
Yep.
I was trying to think, and when I thought about like my every Pokemon kind of idea with the Eevee one, I made me think of Ditto, and I don't think Ditto's good because that's
No,
just a
Ditto's
blob.
terrible. Yep. Cubone, I think, is a good one. Professor Mitchell said in
Cubo's
the
a
chat.
cool one. I don't
That's a
think it
good
has
one.
like the cute factor that you'd get though. Also, the problem with Cubone is everyone would be like, why does it have a skull on its head? And then you have to go through the whole thing of like, well, that's its dead mom, and it wears the skull on its head at all times because it's sad and misses its mom. And like, then that person doesn't want to play Pokemon, or maybe they do want to play Pokemon.
Yeah. What if we name one for each type? That could be.
Oh man, there's so many types.
There are so many types. Eevee's normal, right? I think that's a good normal.
Yeah, Evil's normal. I mean, so was Clefairy. No, I think Clefairies are fairy Pokemon now. I think they got changed.
Yeah. Fairy wouldn't have existed though, so it would have been
Oh, so we're
normal
going off
for
like
that
the
one.
original types?
Yeah,
Then that's
yeah.
a lot less. There's
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want to do for
like
everyone.
6 or 8 or something. I'm trying to even think. Fighting. What's your fighting type? Machamp?
Yeah, probably.
It's
I
either that
think
or like Geodude.
I like Hitmonlee more, but like I think
Yeah, well,
Machamp definitely like
I don't
sells
like the
better.
design of Hitmonlee.
Oh, I like him. He's just like a weird blob with legs.
With like springy legs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about a bug type? Kind of like Beedrill, even though I don't think that would like sell well.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't think it's
wait,
like it's.
Scyther, right? Is probably the
I don't
answer.
think Scyther's bug. Is he?
Isn't he?
I know he's grass type. Well, so the thing is you're getting into like, I think in the when it was run 51, I don't think there was a bug type. I'm pretty sure it was just like grass, fire. Like it was more elemental base.
Mmm.
I think
Okay.
so. If I'm remembering correctly. Like I'm trying to think of like the trading cards and like what are the energies.
Okay.
And it's fire, water, psychic, fighting, grass. Is there a normal?
Yeah, there's normal for sure.
Normal, electric.
So, I mean,
Is that it?
Pikachu's
Are
still
those
the
the 7?
best for electric, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it
I'm
just
just
those
gonna.
7?
Can I cheat and say Raichu because I like Raichu more anyway? So I would choose that as the
I don't think
mascot.
anyone agrees with you with Raichu,
Oh,
but
Raichu's so
sure. I mean,
good.
you can do whatever you want.
What about water? What's a good water type mascot?
Lapras. Oh, there's also Magikarp though,
Magikarp is kind of
and then
good.
Gyarados.
Yeah, Magic Magikarp is pretty good.
We got in the chat. There were like 15 types in Gen 1. Okay,
What
but
the
how many
fuck?
types were there in the trading card game? It's 7, right? There's 7 energy types.
Like
So we need fire, but we're doing Charizard. That's a pretty easy one.
either Abra or Alakazam for Psychic, right? Either one. Do you want the cuter one or the crazier looking one?
All right. Yeah, I want is Jinx.
Jinx. No.
Oh yeah. No.
That's not the
No.
okay answer.
No, not Jinx.
Maybe if it wasn't
uh,
current day 2019.
um I don't know. For psychic, I want to say like Mewtwo. Isn't Mew also psychic? Like that's the psychic one.
I guess so, yeah. I think we pretty
Did
much
we
got them.
did we do them all? I think we did them
Oh,
all.
Dragonite for dragon.
That wasn't like an energy type. I don't know.
Oh, and
There was
energy
apparently
type.
15.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, Suku. Blast from the past question. Favorite game of each console. Oh, so when I was reading these, this person actually put down what our answers were. I believe we answered this before you were on the show, so they only had John and I's answers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I saw all the answers there, and I was just like, I'm not pulling all of that to read. We can read it from the Discord if we want to, but okay,
So I think like more interesting is yours. I'll go through mine as well. I'm gonna kind of say what I said. Like I'm gonna look at the question or the answer
okay.
that he put.
Do it slow though,
Or that he
because
put.
then when you say the console that you gave an answer to, I'll give my answer just so I don't miss one.
Yeah. Okay. So first one, Ness.
Ness, Mario Bros. 3.
So I said Metal Gears,
Weird.
which that's
Okay.
not the answer. It's Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know what that Sean was thinking of.
Uh-huh.
All right, SNES.
Oh, Jesus.
So I said Super Mario World, and I stand by that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably Mario World or like Link to the Past. It's one of those two, probably.
Yeah, that's true. N64.
Oh, 64. Probably like Perfect Dark.
Okay, so I said Smash Bros, and I'll stand by that.
Sure. Yeah.
GameCube.
Oh, Resident Evil remake or whatever, 2002.
Not 4.
No, fuck no. God, no.
Okay, all right. I said Melee / Tales of Symphonia, and yeah,
Melee
I'll
is a
stick
good answer too.
with
Yeah.
both of those. PlayStation 1.
Oh, Resident Evil Director's Cut, without a
You
doubt.
can tell like when this question was kind of answered about like when the consoles stop. Oh no, the Wii's in here as well. Okay, what'd you say for PS1?
Resident Evil Director's Cut, followed by 2, easily.
I said Tony Hawk 1 and Final Fantasy 7,
Tony
and
Hawk 1 and 2 are very good as well. Yeah.
that's pretty accurate
And
for
Final
me.
Fantasy.
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2. Oh my god, there's so many bangers. Probably Snake Eater.
So I said Final Fantasy 10 and Devil May Cry 3.
Okay.
I would
Both good.
probably take off Final Fantasy 10 and instead put Shadow of Colossus in there.
Okay. Sure.
Wii.
Holy shit. I guess
So
Wii Sports.
that's a good answer. I put Boy and His Blob,
Okay.
which is a fine answer. But just thinking back, like I can't think of like any real like standout Wii games where I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, this was my favorite game on the Wii.
Yeah. I
Like
spent
it's
a
like
lot of time with Wii Sports.
Wii Sports good, Wii Sports Resort's good. I mean, it's probably actually like Mario Galaxy or Galaxy 2 now that I think about it.
Okay.
But I just did not spend a ton of time replaying a lot of the Wii games.
Yeah. I could see that.
360.
I'm guessing it has to be exclusive. Otherwise,
No,
like, what's the.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh.
It's just what was your favorite game on that platform. So it's more just like kind of what you played.
I wasn't huge into 360. Maybe Crackdown. I
Okay.
played a lot of Crackdown.
So my old answer was Burnout Paradise and Tales of Vesperia, and it's definitely like Burnout Paradise.
Burnout Paradise, yeah.
And then PS3.
I'm gonna do a quick pass while I look up PS3 games. I haven't thought about
So
the
my
PS3.
old answer was Burnout Paradise and then Heavy Rain, which I feel like Heavy
Wow.
Rain does not like hold up anymore really. I'll also take Burnout Paradise off because I didn't play a ton of my PS3 copy of it. I mean it's the same game, it's still great. But I want to put Uncharted 2 on there. or Last of Us. Like both those, I think are my favorite games.
Okay. Oh, yeah, probably Dark Souls.
Okay.
That would have been that era. So yeah.
DS.
Oh my god. What did you put?
I put Professor Layton 4,
Okay.
um, which I would probably stick with that. I would probably also add Phoenix Wright 3,
Okay.
even though
Uh
it is like a Game Boy Advance game, but it was still awesome. But it should be Ghost Trick. Like this must be before we knew about Ghost Trick.
okay, sure.
But those are all like very close together.
Uh Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow, probably, with huge shout outs to The World Ends With You and Elite Beat Agents.
Oh, Elite Beat Agents. I don't know if you knew this, but the DS fucking slaps.
It does.
Like
It's real
holy
good.
smokes, that library is so good.
Rhythm Heaven is so good. Picross
Oh
3D.
yeah. Yeah.
Hotel Dusk was even good, like for what it
Yep.
was.
Yep. Like because the 3DS can play DS games, 3DS might be one of like the all-time greatest consoles.
Probably.
Because I do think the DS lineup is better than the 3DS lineup, but you might as well just
Overall,
do the
probably.
3DS so that you could get both of them, right?
Yeah, I agree.
PSP,
Oh, that my god, what's that Metal Gear one?
Acid,
Yeah, that's the one. No.
Acid 2.
Peace Walker. Acid
It's
2 is on it
not
apparently.
Portable Ops.
No, not Portable Ops.
So I have Wipeout / Loco Roco. That's
Loco
probably
Roco's
right.
good. Yeah.
So I guess that's where we stopped. John also added some like Virtual Boy games, some Dreamcast, Game Gear, Sega Genesis, and TurboGrafx 16 that I did not have.
Like you just didn't answer them or you just didn't care?
I didn't have like those consoles for the most part or had an answer for them. Like I barely played my Game Gear.
What were his answers? I'm just curious for those. The ones that you didn't answer, I should say. I don't want you to go
You want
through all of
all of
them.
John's answers?
No, not all. Just the ones that you didn't answer.
So for TurboGrafx 16, he had Gunstar Hero. Genesis, he had Gunstar Hero. Game
Yeah.
Gear was Streets of Rage. Virtual Boy was Wario Land. Dreamcast was Space Channel 5. So there's obviously more consoles now we could add on and kind of finish this up or update it a bit. Wii
Okay.
U.
Oh my god. I'm gonna say Zombie U because that's still the only good way to play that game.
I mean, I feel like as the only person on the planet doing this, I got to give it to Game and Wario.
Yeah, okay.
Um, I guess Switch. We could do Switch at this point.
Oh fuck. That's a hard question.
Is it? Because I feel like it's got to be like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. Like, are you kidding me?
I didn't play Breath of the Wild on Switch, and I don't love it. So,
I love it.
and
So
Odyssey is very good. Yeah, I'll give it to Odyssey. That's fine.
here's an interesting one. How would we do about like mobile?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would say I'm gonna give it to Mini Metro
Okay.
and Solitarica.
Solitarica is so fucking good. Yeah. Can I give it to Threes? Do you remember Threes?
Three, very good.
Threes is very good.
You might otherwise known it, listener, as 2048, the ripoff that stole everything from Threes.
I did play that version as well. So there was that.
Um, we can do 3DS.
Okay. Mario Land or Mario 3D Land. I really liked that one.
That one is very good. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I have to give it to Professor Layton Cross Ace Attorney. Because that's just like a
Yeah.
fan's dream, and I like both those series quite a bit.
Common Strider's right. My Wii U choice is also Mario Maker. I forgot. 1 is only on that, and that's a better answer for me.
Mario Maker is very good. Well, 1 is also on 3DS.
Right, I forgot about that. Oh,
Yeah. Um, we could do Xbox One.
I don't have an answer. I don't have an Xbox One.
All right. Okay. I guess what's my favorite game on the Xbox One? I don't even know what. Like the one I probably played the most is like Rock Band 4.
Sea of Thieves, obviously.
Well, I'm not trying to think of like exclusives because it's probably a non-exclusive. And then PlayStation 4.
Oh, oh, God
The
of
game I
War, easily.
God of War is real good. Spider-Man's real good. I think the game I probably played the
Spider-Man, yeah.
most on my PlayStation 4 was Overwatch, though.
Okay, sure.
Anyways, I think is that all of like the consoles basically.
I think so.
John also answered Xbox. I didn't have an Xbox. He put Ninja Gaiden Black for that.
Yeah, that seems like a John game for sure. That game's fine.
Oh, we didn't do Game Boy. We could do Game Boy. Why didn't we
Oh,
do Game Boy? That's
Mario
weird.
Land 2.
Ooh, I think Mario Land 2 is good. I mean, it's probably like Pokemon Blue for me.
Okay. Yeah,
For Game
makes
Boy.
sense.
Okay, so I think we can skip Game Boy Color because it was like a half step.
Yeah, I agree.
So Game Boy Advance, another fantastic library.
I'm gonna say Link's Awakening for Game Boy Color though, because I remember when they released that.
Sure. I mean, that's on. Oh, you mean Link's Awakening DX?
Yeah, DX. Yeah,
Um, oh, someone just mentioned the Oracle games. The Oracle games were very good, and those were Game Boy
yep,
Color games.
that's true.
All right, Game Boy Advance. Again, it's probably like a Pokemon game or Fire Emblem. Play a lot. Or Golden Sun. Both the Golden Sun games are awesome.
Oh, my answer is Metroid Fusion, 100%.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's move on to the next question. I think that's all the consoles anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I need to go back to the page here. Outside of video games, what other interests or hobbies does everyone have? For example, movies, TV shows, books, comics, arts and crafts, outdoor stuff. I know Sean's apparently a warrior and should be on Titan Games. It can't be video games 24/7, can it? No, it's absolutely not video games
And this
24/7.
is from Lucas.
This is from Lucas. This is Gutane Clan.
I talk about movies every week. I go to the theater every week, so I'm a big movie person.
I love comics, but haven't been reading them this year as much as I should probably be.
I'm definitely behind on my comics, but I like comics quite a
I'm
bit as
very
much.
behind on comics. I'm
Um,
pretty behind on movies, but I enjoy movies as well. I don't love TV shows until I find one that really hits me, and then I am absolutely just completely enthralled.
I
So,
watch lots of TV shows, lots of like Netflix originals and stuff. Those are great for when I can download Netflix shows and Disney Plus shows and stuff that are super helpful on the train.
mhm.
I'm obviously a big outdoor person with my Quidditch, and I'm at the gym every day, so I'm pretty like a fitness orientated person as well. I got lots of hobbies.
I'm really into music. Like, I
Sure.
play guitar pretty frequently, so.
Stoge asks, which console games would you most like to play with mouse and keyboard controls?
I remember somebody answered this in our Discord, and when I saw the answer, I was like, "Oh, that's good." And I don't remember what it was. I'm gonna see if I can quickly find it.
I usually don't like using mouse and keyboard just because I grew up consoles and controllers. Um, but I did play a lot of FTL and Into the Breach with a mouse and keyboard, so that was my preferred for that.
Hmm.
But even like Into the Breach works like fine on my Switch.
I would prefer most things be mouse and keyboard, especially first person things.
See, I'm like totally the opposite.
What the hell did somebody mention that I was like, oh yeah, that would have been good? Like, the reason I'm excited for Halo being released on PC is because it'll finally be playable. Like, I played the Halo games, but I didn't like love controlling them. So I'm super stoked to play them the way I want to play them. God, this is going to be so hard finding this answer, but whatever. Um, yeah, people were saying Metroid Prime games. I had the same problem. I don't love Metroid Prime games at all because I hate how they control. So that's probably an answer I would say. Oh, now I remember. Metroid Hunters on the DS or whatever was fucking garbage because you had to control it with the touchpad. Like,
Right, right.
so
And to
that
say
would be
and
good.
use the face buttons.
Ugh. So yeah, probably that.
But I mean, it's like, would you want that, or would you rather just have had like dual joysticks?
No, definitely that. Fuck dual joysticks for a shooter.
Yeah, see, I'm the total opposite. Is like I want a controller like all the time.
Mm. We're at the last one, right? VGC Kenny had
Yes.
a second question from this week and says, let's say you were suddenly to wake up in a video game world as yourselves, but you could adhere to the physics of the game and you had to get to the credits once. What game would be the hardest possible game to wake up under these conditions, but you can still win?
I mean, like, pick any game where you're like it's a shooter, right? Like
Well, I'm thinking any game that's a visual novel that isn't like horrific, I guess. Like, I was thinking Heavy Rain, but then I was like, I don't want to cut my fingers off for some fucking dumb kid.
but you could do it. I feel
You
like
could.
cutting my finger off would be easier than me like taking on like Halo and
Yeah.
fighting basically a space war.
Yeah, a space war would be no bueno, for sure.
Or just like any like
Any war.
almost any shooter, yeah, cuz like Call of Duty, I'm going to be in a war. Gears of War, it's got war in the name.
Oh, Dream Daddy. I'll hit on some dads. I'm good with that.
But he's asking what the hardest one is that you could that you could like
Fuck.
just squeak by and win.
It's
Maybe
probably like
like
Heavy Rain, honestly.
yeah, yeah, like a walking simulator.
I could cut my finger off and probably get to credits before I bleed out to death. Probably.
Sure.
Maybe.
Um what about like Crackdown?
Oh,
Cuz
that
you're
would
kind
be
of a superhero.
that'd be pretty fun, yeah.
So it makes some of the shooting a bit easier, like the war, like the battle's a little
Oh
easier because you're kind
right,
of a
and
superhero.
you can adhere to the physics of the game too. You don't have
Right,
to
so you
just
like
adhere what
regenerating health.
Yeah.
But again, like I've never fired a gun and I have no interest in doing so. So I'm not going to be like, yeah, Gears of War, I'll just, chainsaw some people.
I
And
do
if I need to
like
hide in a
firing
corner and
guns,
regenerate health.
but I don't want to go into a war. That sounds terrible.
Yep. Maybe like, okay, here's a good answer.
Uh,
Because I'm not good at this, but like you could get better at it and maybe see some credits. What about like DDR?
okay.
Because now the hardest thing they're asking you to do is just be really good at dancing.
I was thinking like Forza. Just like
Be like a really good
driving real
driver.
fast. That would be pretty
Okay.
hard though too. I could actually be like in Guitar Hero. I could
Actually, you know what?
legitimately do that.
Like Forza, actually, that's a pretty good answer because you're not even if you crash, the humans definitely don't get hurt in that game.
Yep, that's true.
So you're not going to get hurt if you screw up, and eventually you'll just get better at driving, right?
That's true. Yep.
So that's a good answer, like a racing game. I think that's the answer to go with.
Yeah. I think that's a good one.
All right, that's going to do it for questions this week. If you want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
I guess Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I'm gonna give it to Death Stranding.
Nice.
All right, a little bit of housekeeping. The current TDP Plus um, poll for December ends tomorrow. So if you're listening to this live, go vote ASAP because you're running out of time.
Yep.
Also, just a bit of an announcement. Paul and I will be talking over the Game Awards, which happens on December 12th at, I believe, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, but 5:30 is when I'll be starting the stream up for the pre-show stuff.
5:30 Pacific time, yeah. So half an hour
Pacific.
before
Yeah.
the show starts.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking over that.
Yep.
So if you want to, we will be rebroadcasting it on the channel. So if you want to watch it kind of along with us while we have reactions and stuff, you can do that. Otherwise, in the past, we've like recorded ourselves and put that episode out. Do you want to still do that?
I mean, I'm going to. Oh, you mean as a podcast?
As a because we've done that before, and then if you want to listen to it and hit play on like a YouTube video.
Oh yeah,
So
I'll just record us
exactly,
our
yeah.
audio.
So
Yep.
so if you can't catch it live, we'll have basically like a director's commentary that you
Yeah.
just hit play. We'll try and like sync up like, and they're showing this right now, and then you'll know, okay, this part needs to be at that part, and then you can listen to a director's commentary kind of style.
Sure. Yep.
That again, that's December 12th.
Yep.
And last bit, keep an eye out. Next week, December 1st, we are going to be releasing the top-down perspective Game of the Year community survey again. If you weren't around last year when we did Game of the Year time, if you weren't around like December, every year we put together a survey for our community to answer. You get to submit what your Game of the Years are. You get to guess what you think our Game of the Years are. And then at the end of the year, when we do our big Game of the Year episode and we go through our lists, our individual lists for each category, we will also say what the community most popular answer for each category was. So it's lots of fun. So start putting your list together and get ready to submit it into our forum so we can get a bunch of responses and get a good take on the community. That's going to be out December 1st. So check the Twitter, check the Discord. We'll have it in like the announcements. You will be able to submit your answer basically through all of December. We won't be recording the Game of the Year episode until late December, early January at the latest, just so we can get as much game time in and play as much as we can.
Yep.
So get ready for that as well. But that's always a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good time.
And that's it. Last week we did our Oberdin episode. That's live. So if you haven't seen that, go listen to our Oberdin episode of TDP Plus. That was super fun. If you're not a Patreon backer, you can get access to that episode and the whole back catalog for $2. So go check out that episode. That was a good time.
Yep.
But I think that'll do it. That's everything. Once again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
John should be back next week. So we'll see you then.
Bye.